Davis.
Here.
Board Member Doyle.
Here.
Board Member Chambers.
Here.
Board Member Davis.
Here.
Board Member Jeffrey.
Here.
And Board Members DeVore, Cease, Plank, and Chair Reagan are all absent.
Okay. We need to approve their absence. Okay. So,
Motion to approve absence.
Lori,
I'll second.
Charlie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Lori. Second, anyone?
I'll second.
Charlie? Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. It has been approved. Treasurer's report. Sue.
Currently, the DDA has $923,664.36 available. We're approaching the end of tax season. I will be transferring in an additional $95,000 for the industrial facilities taxes that were part of the 2023 season to your TIPA revenue. I will be, just wanted to let you know I have a request for a handicap ramp in the amount of $1,750. I will be dispersing at the next city council payable meeting. And I've got the check disbursement report if anyone has any questions.
Any questions for Sue? Anyone want to approve that?
Make a motion to approve.
Charlie?
A second.
Martha? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, it passed. Public comments for items not on the agenda. Any public comments? Okay, old business.
Monroe Street. So I presented the concept, I want to say at the second January meeting with the city council for the island at Monroe, on Monroe Street between Main and Avery, and they were very supportive of it. There was some concern about possible on-street parking adjacent to it. There was a no vote because of that. They didn't feel we needed the on-site we needed the parking. But anyhow, the city has received an estimate from Williams & Works. If we were not to install the parking stalls and simply line or not line parking spaces adjacent to the island, the cost would be $83,000. If we chose to install parking stalls, the estimate is $100,000. There's an engineering proposal that includes design engineering and advertisement and bidding. The estimated cost is $15,500. There are funds available for the engineering component of this project right now. My plan, if you were to move forward, is I would propose budgeting the project cost for the next fiscal year, which starts July 1, and beginning the project shortly thereafter for that, once it gets designed. One thing we can do before we go out for bid, I can have them come back with design to show you what it would look like with parking stalls and without parking stalls, and you can decide which one you want to do. And then we can go forward. But I'm recommending that the Downtown Development Authority approve the proposal for design engineering for Monroe Street at a cost not to exceed $15,500.
So the whole project would be less than 100. Engineering would be an additional 15.
Yeah, so it'd be 100. So 100. We used to have construction engineering, which is another additional 8% plus contingency. Oh, actually, no. Wait a minute. No, $100,000 would include everything. I'm sorry.
That's with the.
Yeah, that would include contingencies and engineering. I'm sorry. So yeah, no, it would be $100,000 if we put the parking lot with all the additional costs, or $83,000 if we didn't do the parking. But it still includes all your contingencies and engineering.
The worst case scenario, we have about $100,000.
Correct. Correct. At least that's what they're estimating.
Where would the additional parking stalls for sections be?
They would put them on the side of the road.
Right in here?
Yeah, they put them right here, like along the side. They'd be parallel parking.
Right.
So does that cut the sidewalk like in half then?
Rich, what did they tell you?
It's a pretty wide sidewalk.
Right, yeah, it would,
Yeah, we originally talked about parking near the ballot drop box, and so it would probably cut into the sidewalk, we'd have to move it a little bit, but there's sufficient room there in the right of way for additional parking, if you chose the curb cutout option. And then if you do on-street parking, they just stripe it, more or less, without cutting into the sidewalk.
But back here, back, further back.
But not right out here.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be there, with the island and the 2 lanes, there wouldn't be sufficient room, I don't think, for additional parking, it'd be more north. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So from the back of the island that way?
Yes.
but the one thing it will do is it should eliminate truck traffic going down Monroe, which is the biggest complaint I get. And then the other big issue is making left-hand turns out of here. It's an absolute nightmare making a left-hand turn. It eliminates it. So.
I'll make a motion to proceed.
Okay, motion by Charlie,
I'll second.
Lori. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Museum
Yep.
steps?
Last spring, the Downtown Development Authority approved $37,500 towards the replacement of the original steps in front of the museum. Last summer, RAM Construction performed the work. However, there was a change made due to building code requirements, which mandated the pillars to be higher than what were originally designed. This raised concerns as it was not in line with the historic standards of the historic district. As a result, the museum proposed replacing the pillars with a synthetic railing, which would not pose as much of an issue in terms of historic standards. The DDA has contributed approximately $16,000 of the $37,000 that was budgeted. However, the city received a $25,000 LCTV grant for this project, so that expenditure will be reimbursed back into the DDA fund. And then there was like another $8,000 that was paid for this out of the general fund, and that'll be reimbursed back from the grant as well. So there's the full budget amount that was allocated would then be available. To complete the work, a change order would need to be approved. The change order would amount to $25,333.65. As I said, there's funds available to cover this. And I could technically just approve this. However, given the nature that the project was initially completed, and then there was this issue that came up, I just didn't feel comfortable just approving the change order without running it by the board first. But I'm recommending that the Lowell Downtown Development Authority approve a change order to install the new museum railing at the museum with a cost not to exceed $25,333.65.
So we're saving money on the deal.
Yeah, we'll be 12 grand ahead when it's all said and done.
So that is not in addition to the 37.5?
No,
It's
it's
okay.
within the 37.5 that was budgeted.
Got it.
And it was budgeted last year, so it gets amended and carried over this year. There's all things I do on my end, but it's there, so.
Then I would make a motion to approve.
Charlie?
I second.
Martha? Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. New business, summer concert series.
So we received our annual request for the DDA to sponsor a portion of the cost for the 2024 Lowell Showboat Summer Concert Series. We've been doing this for a number of years. 2 years ago, we increased the budget for sponsorship to $20,000 and funded the full amount last year. They're requesting an additional $20,000, which has been budgeted, and I'm recommending approval, but Shannon's here to talk to you about the event. So.
Shannon Kennedy with the Lowell Area Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for putting me on your agenda today. As Mike said, the letter has been submitted and we are asking for support for the 2024 concerts in the amount of $20,000. This is the same amount that was requested and received for the 2023 event. So also wanted to let you know, a budget was submitted along with our letter. And just want to point out that this concert series event has already secured funding from the Lowell Area Community Fund in the amount of $16,000. And our lead entertainment sponsor of Lighthouse Corporation has already stepped forward with a $6,000 premier sponsorship. In addition, we will be seeking funding from area businesses for the concert sponsorship as well to help support those costs. So we hope to keep costs flat. I will also point out that this year it used to in years prior be a 10-week concert series with 11 concerts. We are going to end the concerts 1 week earlier this year, so it'll be a 9-week series with 10 concerts. So if the school system follows their historical, when they go back, we would not have a concert the week that school starts back up. So that was really there. And then what that allowed us to do was take a little bit of that funding to put it into kind of higher caliber artists and bands to bring in as well too. So that gave us a little bit more to work with. So we do have our artists secured for this year. That lineup will be announced at the expo in March. So we are, moving forward, but it is with in good faith and hoping that the funding is there from the DDA as well, as it has been in years past. Are there any questions about? Yeah, but we do hope for your support, and thank you, Lowell Arts and the Chamber for just the support all throughout the years.
Okay, and the funds are all,
Yep, Inspector. Yes, sir.
I have a logistical question. I have just been elected as the Vice President of the Lowell Area Chamber of Commerce. I suspect that is a conflict of interest
You
for
should
me.
abstain.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
And we make a motion to approve.
Charlie?
A second.
All right.
I'll abstain.
Any comments from? All right, I'll call the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Got your 20,000.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Reports and member comments. I think we have a new member on the board that needs to be recognized. So we're glad to have the better half. So, welcome to the DDA.
Thank you.
Any comments?
I have a couple things. So next month, March 7th, Thursday, March 7th, our normal meeting time at noon. Williams & Works is going to come to the meeting. They're going to facilitate a, I guess for a better word, visioning session for the master plan update that's being done. They want to reach out to different groups in the community. One of them was obviously the Downtown Development Authority. So they're going to come to the next meeting, and that'll be our meeting. It says I don't see any other business at this time, but they'll come, and they did it at the Planning Commission Monday night, and I think there were like 45 minutes at the most. Just kind of get your take on things you think need to be addressed in the upcoming master plan update that the city's working on. Then the following meeting would be scheduled for April 7th. Hang on, let me confirm it. I'm sorry, no, April 4th. I will be on vacation that week, and the city's budget is due on April 15th. So we'll like to meet Thursday, April 11th for the informational meeting to present the budget at that meeting on the 11th. Also, a couple projects. Rich is working on putting the proposal together for the water fountains in the river. He's finishing that up. I'm hoping he'll have something here can go out to bid relatively soon. We also are getting an estimate from Williams & Works. One of the things we budgeted for was to start looking at a refresh of the Riverwalk in this year's budget. So we're getting a proposal for that as well. So I'll probably have that. I may actually have that in March when it won't be. But that's all I have.
I have one thing to add too, if you don't mind. So Arbor Board met, I believe it was last week, and they were talking about doing some tree trimming in the downtown. So just putting that on your radar that they put some money aside to trim the trees up. We talked about reducing the height of them. The arborists we talked to said it wasn't a good idea because it just wouldn't grow right. So what we're talking about doing instead is maybe just kind of cutting them back and making them a little more narrow. So if you see some work going on in the downtown, that's the Arbor Board putting some money aside to get those trees trimmed down. And we may be sharing some contributions.
Yeah, I authorized $1,500 towards that, so that's in my spending authority.
So just make you aware.
Okay, anyone else have anything?
Welcome, girl.
And thank you for having me be a part of the board. I'm looking forward to it, and I've been following city council for a while for obvious reasons, but yeah, it's glad to be here. Thank you.
All right, okay. Accept a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Charlie,
I'll second.
Martha? Anyone have any problems with it? Do we need to start the door? I don't think we need